When I say reparations, what do you think of? Most people think of giving money to people that were slaves. They get freed, and they're owed something by the people that enslaved them. Those reparations are supposed to compensate them for loss of freedom. Sounds good. Totally support that. Slavery is wrong. That statement needs no qualifiers. It's so simple. Slavery is wrong. Done. Everyone agrees with that, right? So we keep hearing about reparations and how much is owed to which people. Some states are toying with the idea of giving money away to descendants of slavery. In comes Rhode Island. A few days ago, they officially passed a reparations plan and will be giving $10 million to Black and Native American people. Now, this is a tricky situation that is just loaded with landmines. And no matter what I say, it's probably going to upset a lot of people. Buckle up. You're probably going to get offended. Before we get into it, hit the like and subscribe button. You're probably here because YouTube thought you would like this. Let's find out. If you were a slave, you are owed something. If you owned slaves, you need to make it right. That means you need to pay them something. The only problem is that Civil War ended about 157 years ago. Last time I checked, humans don't live that long, and it's physically impossible to have been a slave, still be alive, and be able to accept your reparations payment. Also, no slave owners are still alive, so that's kind of a big roadblock to this reparations plan. There are some arguments that under slavery, family generational wealth was created, and some people today are still wealthy because of slavery. Maybe, maybe not. It's hard to prove, and because generational wealth rarely lasts more than 4 generations. Well, have you ever heard of the phrase shirt sleeves to shirt sleeves? It basically goes like this. The first generation has a great work ethic and great ideas. They roll up their sleeves and they work like crazy and they amass a fortune. Second generation, they grow up well off. They don't have to work very hard to keep the business going. You can see them with fancy cars, opulent houses. The money was easy for them. They never learned to work hard. Third generation never learned to work at all. Trust fund babies, Ivy League schools. They don't even understand how the family business works. Then they tend to lose all the money, and the cycle restarts with the next generation. It might be possible to have one rare family that has generational wealth that is still tied to slavery, but it must be so rare it certainly isn't worth a government program to distribute their assets. Well, what about the victims of slavery? And make no mistake, victims they were. But they're no longer alive. Their children are no longer alive. Their grandchildren are no longer alive. Great-grandchildren? Nope, sorry. It's been 157 years, and the cycle has reset so many times. I'm sorry to say, there's really no one alive today that has any tangible effects to slavery in the USA. Now, migrants from Nigeria who escaped slavery last week, hell yeah, you're owed reparations. But seek them from the Nigerians who enslaved you. That debt does not belong to us. We're happy to welcome you here, but you are owed nothing from this country. At this day and time, everyone has the exact same opportunities. Man, woman, black, white. Racism has all but been eliminated. There are laws and rules that will penalize any company that refuses to hire or even promote you because you're black or brown or any other minority. It's already illegal, and if you can prove your case, you will win and get paid because it's wrong to be discriminated against. In fact, there was a case just recently where this exact thing happened.
A staffer who served under Secretary of State Katie Hobbs when Hobbs was in the Arizona Senate says she was fired unfairly and was a victim of discrimination.
2 juries agreed with her, and tonight she's sharing her story with Fox 10. Matt Galka joins us live with more. Matt.
Yeah, guys, Tanya Adams has already been awarded nearly $3 million from a federal court jury who sided with her, saying her firing in 2015 was both retaliatory and discriminatory. Now she's saying the Secretary of State is refusing to acknowledge the truth of that verdict. Tanya Adams already won in court twice. Two courts determined her firing from her role as an advisor to the state Senate in 2015 was retaliatory and based in discrimination. It came after she complained her pay was less than her white male colleagues and requested a raise.
I was fired over the telephone, or at least informed, on February 20, 2015.
She was serving under Katie Hobbs, the Senate Minority Leader then, and the now Secretary of State, who's a leading candidate for governor. The Senate as a whole was named in the lawsuits, but Adams and other testimony has named Hobbs as essentially the decider in the matter. An emotional Adams said she's speaking out now to take back her reputation.
Because it hurts. It hurts. And it invites further attack. And you're already diminished, right? You're already wounded. The injuries, the blows have already been taken. And the continuation of it, I think it just really speaks to her motivations.
To Adams, those motivations include Hobbs refusing to acknowledge the results of the jury trials. Hobbs sent a letter to supporters of her gubernatorial campaign this week, saying she takes responsibility for her role in Adams' firing.
That's a perfect case of how discrimination should be handled. The woman was treated unfairly and was awarded almost $3 million. It should be financially devastating to treat a person like this based on skin color. The courts agreed, so she's taken care of. However, the person who wrongfully fired her was just elected governor of Arizona. Katie Hobbs, Democrat. You can rationalize that however you want. All right, let's get back to Rhode Island. The plan will deliver these funds to Black and minority communities. Now, these are federal funds, part of the American Rescue Plan Act. There's one little problem, is that federal funds can't be distributed based on skin color, so I guess white people will be allowed to apply also. But only if they earn less than $50,000. Okay, keep in mind, poor white people now make up only 30% of the population of Providence, so now they're the minority? Uh-oh, it's starting to get complicated. And they still want to call this reparations. Providence will spend around $400,000 on recognition of harm, $1.5 million on creation and development of the media, and $300,000 on creating a more equitable healthcare system. The reparations budget was formalized in Rhode Island as part of what was called the COVID-19 Equities Budget. Okay. There will never be an end to the amount of money they're spending under the umbrella of COVID. It's a blank check that is never ending. That alone should tell you something. You figure it out. All right, let's take a quick breakdown of the 3 line items. 1, recognition of harm. 2, creation of development of the media. And 3, equitable healthcare system. Recognition of harm. It sounds a lot like CRT. Critical race theory, where they reinforce how all black people are victims. Seriously, they're still trying this after we elected a black president? 3 black Supreme Court justices? Condoleezza Rice, Muhammad Ali, Sidney Poitier, Oprah, Arthur Ashe, Kobe Bryant, Shaq, Dave Chappelle, Maya Angelou, Sammy Davis Jr., Colin Powell, Tiger Woods, Neil deGrasse Tyson. I could go on for another hour. You can't name any careers, sports, politics, medicine, science, nothing where black people aren't thriving. Saying that black people can't succeed is throwing mud in all their faces. They didn't become successful because they were black. They became successful because they had talent, and that's all you need to make it in this country. Everyone gets the same chance, same education. You get to travel on the same roads. Everything is equal. You just have to reach out and earn it. 2, creation and development of the media. What does that even mean? I'm going to speculate that they get another media outlet like BET. It'll be some form of propaganda reinforcing how white people bad, Republicans bad, you're the victim. Sure would be nice if they offered free classes on learning trade school stuff. welding, plumbing, basic engineering, programming, literally anything helpful. Actually, you can get most of that on YouTube for free. You just have to reach out and take it. I'm sure you get my point. 3. Equitable healthcare system. Again, do minorities deserve different healthcare from everyone else? Be careful when you separate people by race. It has a history of sparking more division. At some point, a person will speculate that the other side is getting something better. True or not, the rumor spreads, because that's what rumors do. Now you've got more division. Now the worst case is they just set up a bunch of Planned Parenthood clinics in those communities. Margaret Sanger finally gets her dream come true. Margaret Sanger, you know who she is, right? She was the founder of Planned Parenthood and was a radical racist who set these clinics up in poor neighborhoods like Harlem purposefully to practice her pro-eugenics plan to exterminate black people. I can't even make this up. It's common knowledge. Planned Parenthood has publicly disavowed their own founder. Now, for anyone that has a brother or sister, perhaps you have a couple of kids on your own, try this little experiment. You sit them both down at a table. Give one a marshmallow and nothing to the other one. The marshmallow kid, you tell them they're special. They deserve extra because reasons. The non-marshmallow kid, you tell them they're evil. And they don't get a marshmallow because the other kid deserves it more. See what happens. When you take a section of the population and give them stuff they didn't earn and they don't deserve, while making the other half pay for it, at the same time calling them evil, you're gonna get problems. The people that are being called evil will have limited options. It'll go something like this. 1. Leave. Stop paying taxes. Stop supporting the system that hates you and move. 2. Get angry. They know that it's unfair. They know it's wrong. So they'll start to resent the people getting the free stuff. See, but only one type of person is getting the free stuff. And it's based on their skin, so they'll learn to hate them based on their skin. You've created the problem you're trying to solve. Or 3, violence. It's not ideal and rarely solves any problem, but it is an option. When people feel trapped and they are being treated unfairly, they can resort to violence. So congratulations, Rhode Island. You have started handing out marshmallows to the chosen few. Let's see how this plays out. I lived in Providence for 2 years when I was in college. Fun town. Great memories. You couldn't pay me to go back there now. I see nothing but division, more racial problems, and almost certainly violence in the future. Enjoy your marshmallows. They won't last very long, and the price might be more than you're willing to pay. If anything in this video made you feel a certain way, the comment section is ready to listen. I reply to almost all comments. So if you want to like and sub, that'd be great. I'll be back later with another video.